Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Barbados Association of Retired Persons on this Zoom meeting, where we will be discussing the Life Benefit Plan. Our focus this evening exclusively on that plan, the Life Benefit Plan. My name is Dale Ford. I'm the Communications Consultant with BARP, and I'm the moderator for this evening's presentation. I want to introduce our president, Marilyn Rice-Boyne, and also the Director of Health Benefits with the business unit of Lynch Insurance Brokers, Rosemary Austin, who will be making a presentation. Members of the BARP board, good evening to our interim CEO, Wendell Mason, and other members of staff of BARP. I'm going to hand over now to our president, Marilyn Rice-Boyne, to just give us a few opening remarks before we start with the substantive presentation.
Thank you very much, Dale, and all protocol observed. I want to say, however, a special good evening to all members and prospective members. This evening, we are looking at the life benefit. We are going to answer all your questions. So please don't leave unless you've gotten your questions answered. BARP's theme is Healthy Aging, Aging Strong, and the life benefit plan is designed to meet your final expenses, namely death. And the details of the plan will be shared by the Director of Health and Benefits, Rosemary Austin. However, I want to stress the importance of signing up and to remind you that one does not have to pay cash when you sign the application up, and that it's also important that you sign as early as possible. And I want to share also a part of, want to hammer home, for lack of a better expression, the importance of your not only signing up, but having started the first round of the plan, of joining the plan. So you sign up. But then there's the second round when the call will be made for that premium. When that call is made, you also need to make sure you pay that premium, because if you don't pay the premium and we don't get the requisite numbers, then the plan will not start. So there are people out there who are depending on the life benefit because they want to make it easier for their families when they transition, that they can make a contribution to their final expenses. So yes, where the family will miss them physically, they will decrease the financial loss. So today I am just here to appeal to you to sign up as early as possible. To, as I said earlier, round one is to sign up, round two is to pay. When the call is made for the premium, that you pay the premium and that you continue to live healthy lives as you age, and that you continue to look to BARP as the beacon, as your beacon, as you navigate through life with your life benefit plan. As I conclude this evening, I want to state here, and I have instructed everybody on this program this evening, we will not, and I repeat, we will not entertain any queries this evening on the health plan. This evening's discussion is on the life benefit. The time for the discussion on the health plan will come and you will be duly notified. So no, if you're online this evening and you've come online to get a query answered with reference to your health plan, you can feel free to leave this chat because it will not be answered this evening. We are dealing exclusively with the life benefit. So I want to thank you all for making BARP your priority at this time in the evening. And I do look forward to a robust discussion as we seek to clarify all the issues around the life benefit. Continue to have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Madam President. And I'm going to go to the presentation from Rosemary. Before you do that quickly, though, I just want to remind you that you can hold your questions for after the presentation. Rosemary is going to give a brief background explanation of what the plan is. If you're not familiar with it, then she will go into some frequently asked questions, and then we will have time for question and answer. And you can use the raise hand icon, or as I'm seeing happening now, you can put the questions in the chat and we will come to the questions in the chat. So Rosemary, I hand over to you. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for having me. Many of you would have been covered under the previous life plan with Sagicor. I just want to state this is a new plan. It is a collaboration between BARP, the Barbados Association of Retired Persons, Lynch Insurance Brokers, and Insurance Corporation of Barbados Limited, ICBL. And they're providing an alternative because the association recognized that this is a benefit, as the president said, a benefit that is needed by the BARP members for their loved ones when they have departed. Now, the annual cost is $214.20 per year, but it can be paid biannually, only biannually. How do you get on the plan? First, you have to be a member of the association and be in good financial standing. So as long as you're a member, you need to sign up. You can do that by completing the enrollment form, and that can be done at the BARP headquarters or at Lynch Insurance Brokers. And we are here in Sky Mall, Haggett Hall. So you only need to complete that enrollment form. No medical questionnaire. Well, no medical is required. However, there is a short questionnaire as it relates to your medical condition, because the insurance company just want to make sure that you are in relatively good, healthy standing, and that not that you're just signing up to get the death benefit. So that information is on the enrollment form. Now, the deadline to enroll is the 31st of May, because we are looking to start the plan on the 1st of June. As long as we can get the required numbers, the deadline is the 31st of May. Now, you will, as the president would have alluded to, you needed to, part 2 of it is when you're called upon, you need to come and make the payments, because it is wanting to enroll, but then you need to come and make your payments to make sure that you secure yourself on the medical plan. What is the maximum age for new enrollments? First of all, those persons who were covered before under the previous plan, you automatically would be enrolled, okay? Even though you need to complete the enrollment form, because this is a new insurance company, you need to name a beneficiary, okay? So you have to complete that enrollment form with all of your relevant information. So members who were on the previous plan will be covered. New members, you're now signing up, you've never been on the plan, the previous plan, only those up to age 70 would be eligible. Unfortunately, anyone above that will not be. So up to age 70, you will be enrolled. And again, if you were on the previous plan, this does not refer to you. Now, the coverage will remain the same at $5,000, okay? So in event of death, your beneficiary will be paid that $5,000. So it is important to name a beneficiary. Do not put estate. You make sure, even if you want to put the funeral home, that's fine. But please try not to put put estate. Name someone, the benefits, the proceeds would be paid right away. Whereas if you name an estate, the purchasers have to take out letters of administration, and that could take a long time. And then there's the cost to the attorney to get the papers dealt with. As it relates to a refund, there's no refund. This is similar to car and house insurance. You make those payments in the event something happens, so it is similar. You make any payment in the event of death. Now, any payments that you would have made, because we would have had some questions from persons who said, well, I was covered on the previous plan. What happened to my premiums? Now, those premiums were paid for the time that you were covered, okay? So there is no rollover on what you would have paid previously. There is no refund, as I said. It is for the time that you were covered under the previous plan. How does it work? Well, unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, you have to live 2 years before the benefit is paid. In other words, When you start making your payments, if you die before 2 years, you will get a refund, but not the full 1,000. You're only going to be refunded what you have paid. If after the 2 years, and that's the waiting period, that's what the insurance company has stipulated. If after the 2 years and you die, your beneficiary will get the $5,000. Okay, so that's 2 years after you live, really. You have to live 2 years in order for the benefit to be paid. Some additional questions which Madam Moderator, please allow me to just, because we would have gotten a couple questions after which I thought might have been pertinent for the session. If someone pays, because initially I said you can pay in 2 installments. So if after the first installment and after the 2 years, the member passes, the insurance company will pay the benefit, the $5,000 less the arrears that you needed to pay. Okay, so let's say 107.10, I believe, which is half of the 210, 214.20. You only pay half of that, and unfortunately you pass. The insurance company is going to pay the $5,000 less the difference that you have not paid. So that's a question that we had. Another question we had too was for the 40-year-olds. They're asking, so what happens if they reach age 65? Now, this is a group plan, not an individual life plan. So you have to continue paying that premium until death. Okay, so remember, you have 2 months after the plan start to make sure you pay your premiums. If you do not pay your premiums, you will be terminated. The insurance company will terminate you because they will believe that you do not have, you're no longer interested. So you have to pay your premiums when you're notified to make sure that you stay on the plan. And with that, Dale, I will pause here so that we can answer any queries.
All right, Rosemary, I just want to go through those frequently asked questions again. We do have some slides, and I'm doing that because as you were speaking, we were letting in so many people who may have missed some of what you said. So I'm going to go through the slides, which would have answered most of the questions that the frequently asked questions. So if Sherilyn can bring up the slides, we can do this quickly. Because I have 2 questions so far outside of that as well. All right, so these are the frequently asked questions. If you've been on our social media pages, and even if you were watching Morning Barbados yesterday, you would have seen them. So how do I get on the plan? And Rosemary said you must be a BARP member in good standing. That means that you must be a financial member. Your membership must be up to date. If you're joining for the first time, it's $75 annually to join BARP, and you can do that at BARP headquarters, or of course, if you want to join the plan and you're already a member, you can come to BARP in Hastings, or you can go to Lynch Brokers, as Rosemary said, in Sky Mall. Do I need a medical? No, this is open enrollment. You don't need a medical, as Rosemary said, you just have to fill out a form to make sure you are in relatively good health, but you don't need to have a medical. When is the deadline for open enrollment? The deadline was Tuesday, April 30th, 2024, which is coming up soon, but there's been an extension because some of the members have indicated that, yes, they want to be able to make the payments, whether it is in 1 installment or in 2 installments, and ICBL has allowed us to extend the date, as Rosemary said, to Friday, May 31st. What is the maximum age for enrollment? 70 years old. If you were on the plan previously, this does not apply to you. But if you're coming onto the plan for the first time, the maximum age for new enrollment is 70 years old. Right, and as I said, the age limit does not apply to those members who were on the previous plan. And the coverage remains 5,000 Barbados dollars. And Rosemary indicated that you need to state who your beneficiary is. and not the estate. Even if you want to make the funeral home the beneficiary, it must be clear who the beneficiary is, but not your estate. So the coverage is $5,000. What happens to the monies I paid for the previous plan? The previous paid were for the time of cover. So there's no reimbursement. If you paid and you were paying on time, you were covered. Those premiums were for that period of time that you paid, and that was for the time of cover. Will there be a refund? There is no refund, and similar to house and car insurance, you pay for cover, you're covered, and there is no refund. Will previous payments roll over to the new plan? No, this is a new plan. The previous plan was with Sagicor. This new plan is with ICBL. It's a new plan and you have to sign up, whether you were on the plan before or whether you're a new member on the plan. The benefits will be paid after 2 years of coverage. So it's 2 years of coverage. It's for 2 years, and then after the 2 years and you pass, then you will get the benefit. What happens if I die before the years are up? The full premiums paid will be refunded to the beneficiary, stated on the enrollment form. And those are the questions. Now, Rosemary, I have three questions actually. Can someone who lives overseas sign up for the life benefit plan?
No, the persons must be resident in Barbados because the premiums are based and the contract will be based in Barbados. So you must be residing locally.
Next question is, can you have more than one beneficiary?
Of course, you can name any amount of beneficiaries. Just make sure you have their ID numbers and their names on the forms, but you can name any amount of beneficiaries.
What happens to the plan if the numbers go down?
Well, if the numbers go down, we will try to bring them back up again. That's the first thing. But I believe the companies, Lynch, BARP, and ICBL will all work together to try to get the numbers back up.
Can a power of attorney or receiver sign up for someone who was on the previous plan?
No, unfortunately not. And that's a stipulation by ICBL.
We signed up a few months ago, but have not gotten any payment instructions.
Yes, we haven't sent out any instructions as yet because we want to make sure that we have the minimum number of persons before the plan can be started. We need to make sure of that first.
Can the premium be paid online?
Yes, the premium can be paid online, and that information will be shared with you when the time comes for us to notify you when to make your payment, when and how and where.
And of course, you said it can be done in 2 installments as well. You can pay the full $214.20 in 1 installment or pay in 2 installments, correct?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. Will you have to withdraw from BARP if you don't join the plan? Sure, I understand. No, you don't.
This is separate to the membership. This is what BARP is offering its members. But no, you do not have to join the life plan. We would hope that you will, but it does not affect your membership. You still continue to be a member.
Okay, the person asked, can the beneficiary be living overseas?
Yes, yes, the beneficiary can be living overseas.
Okay. And that answers the other question, does the beneficiary have to reside in Barbados? So yes, the beneficiary can be living overseas.
Yes, it is just the member has to be residing in Barbados to be able to enroll on the plan.
Okay. All right, those are the questions in the I'm not seeing any raised hands. Is there anyone who is currently on who has a question or wants to make a comment? Doriel Clark, raised hand. Ms. Clark, are you there?
Yeah. Hi, good evening. Hi,
Hi,
Rosemary.
good evening.
Hi, Doriel.
Hi, I would have signed, I was in the previous life benefit. And I sent in the forms last year by my daughter. to the bar office. They took them, but said she couldn't pay the premiums. The premium at that time, that someone would get back to me from the broker. But so far, I have not heard anyone. So I want to know what's going on. Well, I think, Rosemary, you know my situation. And I wondered if that was a problem.
No, and let me state
Hello?
here that any pre-existing conditions, right, this does not affect any pre-existing conditions, because we would have had some questions from persons who were skeptical about joining the plan because they felt that if they had a condition and subsequently died, that the premium may not be paid. That's not so. As long as you sign up and you live 2 years after the plan starts, the benefit will be paid. It doesn't matter how you die, the benefit will be paid. Doriel, I will probably need to check to see about your form. But if you've already completed the form for the life, it's just a matter of us communicating to you that we're ready to go and what the premium is and when you should make the payment. So that's not going to be a problem. I will just note your information and I'll let you know, or have one of the team give you a call.
Thank you, Doriel. We have a question from Dennis Greenwich. Please go ahead with your question or comment.
Thank you. Good night. Can you tell me from which point
Evening.
does the 2-year countdown begin? From the point I submit my application, or is it from the point premiums are collected from the applicant?
It's from the point that you become effective on the plan. So if you start, the plan starts the 1st of June, then it is 2 years from then.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. What if I am only temporarily residing overseas? What if I'm not living overseas, but I'm just going to be overseas for a bit? Can I still be on the plan?
Yes, if it is only temporary, yes, you can be on the plan. Temporary meaning no longer than 6 months.
All right. How many people are needed in order for the plan to be approved by ICBL?
Unfortunately, I can't give you that number right now because as we speak, there are enrollment forms coming in. We just have to validate that there are persons in good financial standing. But at this point in time, I can't give you a number, not right now.
Is there an age limit for which the death benefit is payable?
No. If you reach 99, 100 and you die and you're on the plan, that benefit will be paid.
Can I pay the premium via SurePay?
Yes, you can. And yes, you will be able to. As we said, when the time comes and we send you your correspondence to pay, we will tell you where, how, and when you can make your payments. And SurePay is one of the facilities where you can make your payment.
All right, we have a question raised from Simone Haggerty. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. I don't quite understand what happens. You said that the premium would be $240, $214.20.
$214.20.
14 or 40?
14. $214.
Right, that's the
and
annual
20.
premium. What happens if May 31st comes and certain of us have paid in the premium, but you have not had the requisite number to start the plan? What happens then?
Well, what we don't want to do is to take the money before the plan has started, to avoid a situation like that. So you will be notified when we've reached the stipulated number. We'll let persons know so they can come and make their payment right away. But we're not going to take your money and then the plan hasn't started and then we have to refund you. So there's no worry about that part.
Okay, fine. I understand. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. That was a good question. Good evening. If a person dies before the 2 years are up, the full premiums will be paid. But how about if after paying $214, or sorry, $2,142 for 10 years and the plan comes to an end will persons get back any percentage of the money they have
Chris,
contributed?
I'm on a Zoom meeting, but I'm at home.
Okay,
No,
Okay.
I didn't hear Rosemary.
no. If you've paid over $2,000 for 10 years and the plan folds up, then there's no refund because you would have paid that money for the coverage for 10 years. There is no refund. Similarly, if you you surpass the 2 years and you subsequently die, the insurance company, you would not have been paid up. You probably only paid what, $428.40, but your beneficiary is getting $5,000. So the insurance company is not going to ask for the refund between what you paid and what you receive in the benefit. So that paying that money is for the time that you have been covered. So there's no refund if the company folds up. It's similar as we would have said before to house insurance or car insurance. Every year you have to make the payment.
All right, so Rosemary, walk us a little bit through. We don't have a copy of the form here that we can put on the screen, but walk those on the call through some of the information that they need to have to complete the form.
Actually, I unfortunately don't have the form here with me either, but the form basically asks you information about yourself. You wouldn't need to provide any information. It's about your ID, your health, when last you've been to the doctor, those kind of questions. Okay. Oh, here we are.
Here it is. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much, Charlene.
Okay. So the questions on the form pertains to the member, their details. So there's no additional information that will be required where you have to submit anything. This is all about you. And you really should respond as honestly as you can, so that if the benefit is paid, there's no question or so on. But as I said, let me just clarify that. When you sign up, even though you may have a pre-existing condition, meaning that you may be diagnosed with something right now, when you sign up and you die after the 2 years, the benefit will not be paid. Nobody's going to come and look and say, okay, here it is that you said you had hypertension or you had heart disease, and therefore we're not going to pay the benefit. Because I know there was a lady who was very concerned with that. The benefit will be paid no matter what your condition is right now. Okay, here we go. Heart disease, anything like that. If you have any of these conditions right now and you join the plan, you just need to live 2 years. And if you die, your beneficiary will be paid the $5,000. So all of this information here is your personal information. And it will not be held against you if you have any of these conditions.
Okay, so Sonia Bishop wants to know if the form is available online.
Yes, it is.
Okay, all right.
It can be obtained on the BARP website.
Yes. No. Okay, questions are coming a little fast and furious here. Just give me 1 minute. Why is there a 2-year paying period before the benefit is paid? Why is there a 2-year paying period before the benefit is paid?
Okay, usually insurance companies have a waiting period before any benefit is paid out because they need to accumulate the premiums, and you can appreciate they don't want to sign you up now. You've only paid $214.20, and tomorrow the member dies and they have to pay out $5,000. That's a big risk for them. So this is their security in ensuring that persons or that they have started to accumulate the premiums in order to pay the benefits.
Is the premium of $214.20 fixed for the lifetime of the policy? Is that going to be the fixed? Okay.
No, it won't be fixed. This is what it is at this point in time. Next year, the plan is a yearly renewable plan where they review the premiums, the demographics of the group, the claims that have been paid out, and they determine whether it should remain as is, or if it will be increased, or if it won't be reduced. Very seldom reduced though, because we're aging. So with age come a higher risk. but they tend to look at the premiums on a yearly renewable time.
All right, now walk us through paying the premium, because you said you can pay in one installment or you can pay in two. So how does the two installments work? How does that work?
Well, with the two installments, you need to make sure, I believe it would be, you have to pay the second installment before the year is up, before the plan renews. So you can pay, or you should pay, or you must pay the first for the plan to start, the 1st of June, and make sure the next payment is before the year is up. So you cannot roll over where you have a whole year the following year. So 6 month intervals to make the payment.
All right, Tony, Paris says he needs to ask a question, but it's a long one. So, Tony, we still have some time. If you want to ask your question, you've warned us, it is long, but please make sure that somewhere in there, Rosemary will be able to understand the question, so she'll be able to give you and all of us the information. So if you're ready, go ahead, please. This is Tony Paris. Are you there, Tony Paris? All right, Rosemary. Well, maybe Tony Paris wants to contact you directly, and maybe
And that's fine.
yeah. One person
Hello.
says the form is online, but are you
Hello.
there? Hi.
Yes.
Is this?
Yes, thanks for
sir.
unmuting.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, I want to find out what happens if you sign up for the plan, you live the 2 years, and you pass away and have not paid the current premium. Does your beneficiary still receive the $5,000?
Okay, so you've signed up for the plan. You have not paid the premium, which is unusual because you are only on the plan when you make that payment. Okay, so if after the second year, the third year, that premium has to be paid, even if one installment has been made, one installment, the premium is paid to the proceeds would be paid to your beneficiary less what is outstanding. So if you've only paid $107.10 and you then pass away, the $5,000 less the other half of the premium will be paid to your beneficiary. Have I answered your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for the question. So we looked at the installments, and Tony asked a pretty good question there as well. Another question coming in from Hugh Riley: how can we contact Rosemary if we have additional questions? Is there an email address we can use? So Rosemary, if you can share your email address with us.
Yes, you can send your questions to BARP at Lynch Brokers, BARP at lynchbrokers.com, and you can, in the subject line, attention Rosemary.
Are there any other questions or comments or concerns? I see another question just popped up from Nicole Gooding. Good evening, Nicole. If you signed up a form to join the plan in January 2024 as a new member, was someone to contact you to say that you can be enrolled? I think, Rosemary, you touched on this a little earlier because you had some of those questions before, but go ahead and let's answer that question for Nicole.
Okay, Nicole, if you've already signed up, that's not a problem. We have the information. You've completed your form, because signing up means completing the form. We will communicate to you when we've reached the required number and the plan is ready to start. Just before it's ready to start, we will contact you and ask you to come and make that payment. So you will be notified. You will be given all the relevant information in terms of where you can make your payments, and again, how much, and you'll be notified again of how much the benefit is. Whatever we've gone through here, it will be included in the information which we will send you.
You're so very welcome, Nicole. And another question, Rachel is asking if the form is online and if it can be submitted online. I think we had that question before, but just for Rachel's sake, yes.
Rachel, you can complete the form online, but you need to sign the form and bring it in. The insurance company needs to have your signature. So you need to sign the form and bring it in. And the form must be signed by you and not by anyone else.
Is there grace period after the due date for the premium to be paid?
Yes, the grace period will be 2 months. So you have 2 months in order to make your payment.
What is the minimum number of persons to get the plan activated? Robert Weeks, we had that question before. Rosemary has indicated that she won't be able to share that information as yet because we do have some forms that we have to go through, and we will be getting back to our members with that information in due time. So thanks for that question, Robert. Rosemary, I was talking to some 40-year-olds who are thinking about joining BARP and thinking about coming on the plan, but they're 40-year-olds, so they're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm 40. I think I have another 60 to 70 years on the planet. What would you say to those 40-year-olds who've heard about the plan, but are not sure if this plan is really for them, or should they get it for their mom or their dad who's on the plan? What would you say to those 40-year-olds?
Well, what I would say to the 40-year-olds, especially if you don't have life insurance and you do have a pre-existing condition, because usually if you're going to get purchase an individual life policy, you have to go through underwriting. You have to, and the insurance company could send you for a whole set of tests, and you could be declined, or you could be, they could load the premium, maybe because of weight, maybe because of condition. But here's an opportunity now for persons to join the plan without having to provide medical evidence. Well, actually, only the questionnaire there. But with the regular plan, further investigations will be done. You'll be sent for your medicals and so on. However, with this plan, just that medical, those short questions, and you will be on the plan.
So this question comes back. If I'm temporarily residing overseas, how can I sign the form in person? B. Richard asks, what happens if the form is signed online and scanned back to you? Is that acceptable? So kind of the same two questions. One, if I'm not living here, but I'm going to be coming back and I have to fill in, get the form in by Friday, May 31st, how can I do that? And one person is asking if you can sign it and scan it back to Lynch or BARP. What do you say to that?
Yes, as long as you will be residing here, you can complete the form, scan it, and send it to us. You will be eligible to join the plan. But for the time that you're living here, from the time you're living here.
All right, we still have some people coming in as we're going through. We have about 14 minutes before the end of our conversation because we're finishing up about 7 o'clock. So Rosemary, let's just go through quickly the key information. You must be a BARP member in good standing, which means that you must be in good financial standing, which means that your BARP membership is up to date. If you're joining BARP for the first time, it's $75 a year. This plan is the life benefit plan. There is no medical, you don't need a medical to be enrolled. You just have to fill out the form indicating they will ask you questions about your health. And we've asked that you be honest about that. And the premium is $214.20. And you can pay in one installment or you can pay in 2 installments. The form is available online and you can fill it out and submit it online. And the insurer is ICBL. The brokers are Lynch Insurance Brokers. And we have Rosemary Austin on the call, who is the representative of Lynch. So we have some more questions. I think the question about minimum members is misinterpreted. I think they want to find out how many BARP members in total are required before the plan can be started. Can you answer that, please?
Unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, what we have found is that, and I guess it is probably our culture. When we say how much are required, then the person say, okay, show me when you get close to your numbers. And then we miss out on those people. We don't want to have a situation like that happen. So we encourage persons to sign up. Right now, we are still validating the forms. We have thousands of forms right now. We are validating the forms to make sure that persons are in good financial standing. Communication will be sent to the BARP members to let them know how close we are to that number. But at this point in time, we rather not say, because as I said, we don't want persons to say, well, okay, you're near, you don't need me, or show me when you get closer. So that information will be shared as soon as we can validate the other enrollment forms, because for each enrollment form that we receive, we need to make sure that you're in good financial standing. So I'm sorry, I won't be able to give you that at this point in time.
Well, be back, because if you're concerned that you get on the plan and then the numbers drop off, Rosemary has indicated that once the numbers are there, then you will be contacted to make the payment, because the numbers would be at the level that would make the plan viable, and you will be contacted, you will make your payment, and the plan will become your plan will become activated. So it's not a case where you come in, you register, you pay, and then if there's a problem with the numbers, you have to get back your money. So if that was your concern, no, that is not what is going to happen. So Michelle from First Step Property Services asks, are the premiums to be paid for life from start day to day of death?
If the plan is active from the time you start till you end every year, yes, you have to pay the premium, but you're doing this on an annual basis. In other words, you don't have to pay a lump sum, let's say for 5 years, 10 years, or anything like that. You will pay yearly or twice a year, however you choose to do it. But yes, you have to pay. As long as the plan is active and you are part of the plan, you will make your payments.
Someone asked, Antoinette asked, does it get interest?
Unfortunately, no. This is a group plan and not an individual life plan. So there's no interest. There's no participation in the plan, nothing like that.
All right, so walk us through the process of actually getting the benefit. So, the person is enrolled, the person has passed away, the beneficiary is to get the $5,000. What is it that the beneficiary would have to do?
Okay, there are some specific forms which the beneficiary, the named beneficiary, will need to provide. I think it is the death certificate, and there's a claimant form, which also has to be completed by BARP to make sure that at the time of death, that member was in good financial standing. That member's premiums were paid up. So those forms, you would need to be completed and submitted to us. We send them to the insurance company, and the benefit will be paid. If you're the named beneficiary, the check will be made out to you. If you're not, then you need to complete letters of administration. So you need to get an attorney involved. So that's why we ask that you name your beneficiary so that the check can be paid as soon as possible.
All right, Tony Paris asks, is it possible to pay for more than a year at a time?
No. You pay 1 year at a time.
I'm not seeing any other questions yet. We're still admitting people into the conversation. Yes, Tony, you're more than welcome. We do welcome your questions or comments. Rosemary, tell us again, for those people who may want to contact you, just to refresh your memories, what your email address is and where Lynch Brokers is located.
Okay, the email address to be used is barp@lynchbrokers.com. And I give you that email address because I personally do receive hundreds of emails weekly, and I wouldn't want to miss any of your emails. So if I am unable to answer any query, then my team will respond to you. That's barp@lynchbrokers.com. And we are located in Sky Mall between Dollarwise and PLS if you want to come in and ask a question. We also have an area in the BARP office in in Hastings. We have a desk there, so you can always ask questions there.
You have a lynch desk at BARP.
Okay. We have a lynch desk at BARP.
Yes, that's okay. And of course, there's a pop-up Let me ask the events coordinator, Sherilyn, when is this month's pop-up and where? Okay, she's gonna get that.
Just in case, this
She's
month's
gonna get that
pop-up,
information to us because the
Okay.
pop-ups,
the pop-up is this Saturday in Sky Mall
Yes.
at
That is correct.
at the Lynch booth. Yes.
at the Lynch booth, right? What time?
And that's
Give me the
from
time
10
again.
10 to 4, I believe, Sherilyn,
Mhm.
or 10 to 3?
That's correct. 10 until 4.
Okay.
10 until 4.
So
All
feel
right.
free to come in and
Mhm.
ask any questions.
Yeah, so you can come over to Sky Mall between 10 and 4 o'clock. BARP is going to have a pop-up there in collaboration with Lynch Brokers and the kiosk. The kiosk is right there in front of PLS. And if you have any questions or if you want to sign up or if you want to get additional information about BARP or if you want to join BARP or bring some people to join BARP, it's $75 if you're joining for the first time. $65 if your membership has expired under 3 months, but if it is over 3 months, it's $65 plus $10, which would bring it to the total of $75. So that, yes, thank you so much. Sherilyn, our on the ball events coordinator there, she has our pop-up, our BARP pop-up flyer, Saturday, April 27th, 2024, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Lynch Brokers kiosk, which is, as I said, next to Payless Shoe Source, kind of more in front of it in Sky Mall in Haggett Hall, and you can join or renew your membership. We're not talking about the health plan tonight, but you can get some information about the health plan. And of course, you can also get information about the life benefit plan as well. Thanks so much, Charlene. That really does help to keep us focused there. So we have 6 more minutes to go before we are finished here on this call. We're discussing the life benefit plan. Reverend Carson Atherley wants to thank all those involved. He thinks it's a worthwhile plan for members. Yes, it is. Our president is always saying that it is important to BARP that members live their life in dignity. And when that time has come to an end, that they also, that process is also done in dignity as well. So it is important, and Rosemary did make the point that 40-year-olds, you can also get on the plan. You know, at 40 years old, you know, you may just be married and have a house and a mortgage and all these different things, and you're thinking, that's not something that, you know, I'm going to give priority to, but it never hurts to be prepared. So it's something that you can be prepared for. So we just want to very quickly, Rosemary, in the last 5 minutes that we have, just remind our members and those who joined us some of the key elements of the information that we're getting out to them, particularly about age. The extension has been given to Friday, May 31st, so you still have some time to get on the plan. Some of our members were saying, well, you know, I want to do it, but I'm waiting. I have to put aside some money. So Rosemary, just tell us what those key things that our members have to remember.
Okay. First and foremost, persons who were covered under the previous plan, we need you. You need to sign up. You need to enroll. It is not a rollover. It is a new plan. It is with ICBL. The previous plan was with Sagicor. There's no rollover in premiums. When you enroll using the form and you sign up, the plan starts the 1st of, well, there's an extension of the open enrollment to the 31st of May. So you need to make sure that you sign up, complete the form, sign, and you bring it in. We will communicate with you when the plan will start and how you should make your payments and where you can make your payments, including SurePay and online. The money, the benefit to be paid is $5,000, but you must live 2 years after the plan start in order for the benefit to be paid. You name a beneficiary. Don't just leave it blank. Make sure you name someone. I know it's not something that people want to think about, but it's the reality of it. You name a beneficiary so that in the event of death, someone comes forward and then the check is paid to them and they can help with your burial expenses. You can name a funeral home if you wish to, but if you put estate, that's going to be a problem. The money is going to stay with the insurance company until letters of administration will be taken out. The maximum age for new persons who are now signing up is age 70. Unfortunately, that's the cap given by the insurance company. But persons who were covered before, you will be taken on the plan. Even if you're 99, you will be covered under the plan. So again, the monies that you would have paid on the previous plan, that's dead. You paid that for the time that you were covered. It's like house insurance and car insurance. Every year you make your payment, you hope there's no claim, and the next year you start all over again. There is no carryover. The only refund that would be given is when you start the plan and you pass away under the 2 years, a refund of the premium paid will be made to your beneficiary. That's the only refund for the plan. And that's it really. That's the key things. But make sure you sign up as soon as possible. You can sign up online, the forms are online, you download them, you complete them, and you sign the form. The forms must be signed by the members. You can either come into our office and sign the forms here at Haggett Hall or at the BARP office, but we need to get your signatures in by May the 31st. Additional information, we will keep you posted in terms of what's happening.
Okay, Rosemary, we have 2 quick questions. Tony asked, is there a reason for the limit to be at 5,000?
No, the reason for that is because that is the amount that it was previously. So just for continuity, we kept it at the 5,000, which was the amount for the previous plan.
All right.
Any other amounts will be increased premium.
Okay. Simone had another question. I was told, thank you, B. Richards, for letting me know that Simone had her hand up. I didn't see it. Is Simone still there that she wants to ask the question quickly? Or does she want to contact Rosemary after this call?
No. Thank you. I'm still
Go
here.
ahead. I'm sorry, Simone, I'm not hearing you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Good. You did say that down the road, the price, the premium, $214.20 could eventually become, with an increase. What happens if you have paid and you're still alive after 2 years, but you decide that the increase is too much for you to handle financially? What happens, therefore, that you're not paying the increased premiums? What happens to all the money that you've already put in to the plan?
Okay, remember that you're paying for coverage for that time. So even though you would have made your payment, if you die, let's say after 2 years and you die, you've only paid $400. Okay, so you pay that $214.20 for the time that you have been covered. There is no refund. This is how insurance works. You're paying for coverage for the time that you are insured. There is no refund for it.
Does that answer your question, Simone? I'm not sure if you're muted because I'm not hearing you. Does that answer your question?
Not quite. Not
Okay.
quite. Not
All
quite.
right.
Because when you sign up, you're signing up for a fee of $214.20. But if down the road you come back to us and you say to us, we're sorry, but we have to increase the premium, and you cannot afford, because now I'm 73. What is going to happen when I'm 75? I'm not sure. But it means that if you cannot afford the increased premium, you have lost your coverage based on what you have said.
Unfortunately, that's how insurance works. You're paying an annual premium for coverage for that year. Okay, so down the road, if you cannot afford it, you have not paid anything, so there's no coverage. Unfortunately, that is how it works. You're paying for that time. Just like the car insurance and the house insurance, you're paying your premium for coverage. If at some point in time the insurance becomes too high and you decide you no longer want to pay the insurance, there is no refund for those insurances that you would have paid for the previous years. Okay, and I would have used this example before. Is that you have to look at it on the other side. If you have paid two years, you've only paid $428.40. Okay, and you die, your beneficiary is going to get $5,000. The insurance company is not going to say, well, you've only paid $400 and we paid out $5, so you need to refund us the difference. So that's a risk, more or less, that you will take. But your coverage of the $214 is year on year on year, because it is a plan that renews every year. You could start next year and then there may not be a plan in another couple of years, but there is no refund because you pay that premium for the time that you are covered. Unfortunately, that's how insurance works.
All right, Simone, I hope that answers your question. I know Rosemary said we are going to go to 7, but I have one more question here before I hand over to Arson to do the vote of thanks. And it asks, if I submit the form before I turn 70 in June, can I still sign up now?
Yeah. As long as you are, under age 70, you are eligible.
At the time of sign up, which is May 31st, you're eligible.
They look at the date that you have signed. So that's not a...
Okay. All right. Arson, I want to hand over to you to do the vote of thanks. And I also want those on the call to look into the chat to get the information, because this information is going to be available on our YouTube channel, because this conversation is being recorded. So Arson, who is our secretary at BARP, I hand over you to do the vote of thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Dale. Thank you for doing such a wonderful job. I trust that the presentation has answered the many queries that the members have had, and that they are better informed and that they can see the benefit of joining this plan. I don't intend to keep you longer than necessary, but I have a responsibility to thank those who have contributed to this evening's presentation. But before doing so, I really want to just reinstate two points that have been mentioned, and that is that everyone needs to sign up for the plan, because we need to know the number of persons that we have to get the plan going. So spread the news to your friends and colleagues so that we can get that information by May the 31st. And secondly, there's no immediate payment that is due, so you don't have to worry about whether you have the funds at this point in time. You can go ahead and sign up, even though you may not have the funds at this point in time. But you will need to plan and have those funds available when the call is made for you to pay. So just remember those two things. So firstly, let me thank our brokers, Lynch Insurance Brokers, for readily agreeing to partner with BARP to organize this evening's presentation. This partnership is important as we strive to get the best insurance products for our members in these challenging circumstances. So thank you, Rosemary, for your presentation. I'd like to also thank the BARP team for the work in executing this evening's presentation. Your hard work is always appreciated, especially when you have to spend these long evenings after working during the day. Thank you, Dale, for keeping everything going on track, and for guiding us through the proceedings. We do expect this level from you, and we thank you for living up to that at all times. I thank also our president, Marlon, for the opening remarks, and for the board for its leadership in making sure that we continue to deliver these sort of programs for our membership. And finally, but most importantly, I thank you, the attendees, for showing your interest in the presentation and supporting BARP as we continue to bring these insurance products to the membership. So good night and blessings to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Orson. I just want to remind those on call that if you have questions or you want to have a deeper conversation with Lynch Brokers or BARP, you can send an email to BARP, B-A-R-P, at Lynch, L-Y-N-C-H, brokers.com, or you can send to info at BARP, B-A-R-P, BB.org, info at BARPBB.org, or if you prefer to call, you can call BARP at 538-2277, 538-2277. BARP is opened Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. and you can call Lynch Brokers at 426-5062. They're open around the same time as 8. Rosemary, am I correct? And I think
8
your
until
office is
4.
closed at, pardon?
We close at 4 o'clock.
And you close at 4 o'clock. That is correct. So we thank you so much. As Arson said, we do appreciate our members, and we know that some of you here are not members and want to become members to be able to get on the life benefit plan, and we look forward to having you. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much again. We wish you a good night, and as I said, feel free to contact Lynch Insurance Brokers or contact BARP for additional information. Good night.
Good night.